So far, we've been talking mostly about social justice issues. And some of you may be thinking, what does all of this have to do with confirmation? So now let's talk about confirmation. Most of you were probably baptized when you were babies. Somebody else made that decision for you. Most likely your parents decided that you would be baptized, that you would be Catholic, and that they would raise you as a Catholic. Confirmation is the time when your faith truly becomes your own. None of us can survive in our life of faith by living on the faith of somebody else. Maybe to this point, the faith of your parents has gotten you through, but now it's time for you to make that faith personal, for you to make that faith your own. Unlike baptism, nobody can choose confirmation for you. You have to choose it for yourself. I know some of you might be experiencing pressure from parents or grandparents or other relatives to be confirmed, and maybe you aren't even sure that you want to do it yet. If that's you, I would encourage you to just keep engaging in these videos and thinking about these questions and thinking about what your relationship with God really means to you, or if it means anything to you, what difference it makes in your life. In ancient kingdoms, the king would have a particular seal that he would use on letters. Have you ever seen those wax seals? You put the wax on the envelope and then you stamp it with the seal. That's what I'm talking about. The king would have a specific design on his seal so that when his letter got to someone and they saw that seal, they would know that that letter truly came from the king. Confirmation is similar to this. When we are anointed with the holy chrism or the oil, that is God's seal that we bear. God is putting his seal on us as our king and sending us into the world so that we can be recognized as true representatives of the God who is sending us. That's why we've been talking so much about social justice, because confirmation isn't just a rite of passage, and it's certainly not the last step in being Catholic. It's just a next step on a long journey. The goal of confirmation is to receive the power of the Holy Spirit, to go out and be servants in the world, to see all these social justice issues that we've been talking about and say, okay, this is the one that I feel passionate about, and now I'm going to go forth being sealed by the gift of the Holy Spirit. I'm going to go forth as God's representative in the world and do something about that issue. I'm going to fight for justice. I'm going to fight for the people who are oppressed, the people who are struggling. In the book of Acts of the Apostles, there's the story of Pentecost. So there were Jewish people gathered from all over for the Feast of Pentecost. And a lot of them, since they came from different parts of the world, spoke different languages and they couldn't understand one another. But on this Feast of Pentecost, the Holy Spirit descended upon them, and each person understood the other people in their own language. The Holy Spirit came down and gave the gift of unity to people who were diverse. We are all different people. Every single one of you has some sort of gift that I don't. All of you can do something that I can't do. God has a plan for you, something that only you can do. But it's your choice whether or not you choose to follow God's will for your life, whether you choose to seek it out. Confirmation is a time for you to truly seek God's will for your life, to ask God, what is it that you are calling me to do? How can I serve you and serve my brothers and sisters on our common home here? when you are confirmed, if you choose to be confirmed, you will experience something similar to what happened on Pentecost. Confirmation gives us the gifts of the Holy Spirit, which we'll look at a future lesson. It empowers us to go out as God's representatives and serve a world that is so drastically in need, a world that is hurting. And that doesn't mean that we are perfect. That doesn't mean that we have it all together. That doesn't mean that we aren't hurting ourselves. But it means that we can take our pain and allow it to be transformed into something different. So that if you've gone through something, well, maybe that equips you to help someone who is going through something similar. Confirmation is an incredible gift. I wasn't confirmed until I was 23 years old, because I wasn't raised Catholic. That was a choice I completely made for myself. And I have been glad I did every day since. I hope you decide to make the same choice and go through with your confirmation. Now please read the material below and answer the reflection questions. Have a great week.